Welcome in this class. Today we will discuss about phenomena of apomixis, which is one of the important component of plant propagation. The term apomixis has been taken from Greek word, which means about the mechanism which take away the normal sexual reproduction method, where syngamy and triple fusion phenomena takes place. In this mechanism, the sexual reproduction process is being replaced by asexual mode of reproduction, where there is formation of seed without fertilization process. The credit for discovery of this phenomena goes to Leeuwenhoek, who had reported it in 1719 in citrus seeds. This phenomena is commonly reported in genera of family Asteraceae, Poaceae, Rutaceae, and Rosaceae. It is the process where there may be replacement of sexual reproduction by asexual reproduction during formation of seed, which is called as oogamospermy, or it may be replacement of the flowers by the bulbils, that is called as vegetative apomixis. But primarily, major area of concern for apomixis is oogamospermy. So this process is being further divided into gametophytic apomixis, sporophytic apomixis, and vegetative apomixis. So sporophytic apomixis is also known as adventitive embryony. So this conversion is based on the development of embryo sac from the reproductive part of the plant, which includes gametophytic apomixis, whereas the sporophytic apomixis includes the phenomena where the embryo develops from the cells of a sporophytic nature. Before going to discuss this, we must have to understand about the major component of an ovule. An ovule at maturity has the following component. At the stage of development of embryo sac, the embryo sac is surrounded by nucellus covered by double layer of integuments. So the integuments and nucellus cells are of sporophytic origin, and if the embryo is developed from these two cells, it is called as sporophytic apomixis. The embryo sac is the female gametophyte and bears the gametes, which is in haploid nature. The cells present inside the embryo sac are gametophytic in origin and includes antipodal cells near the chalazal end, egg cell surrounded by two synergid cells near the micropylar end, and secondary nucleus. When embryo develops from such cells, it is called as gametophytic apomixis. So as we have discussed that apomixis is of two types broadly, oligomospermy and vegetative apomixis. So oligomospermy is further divided into two different categories of adventitious embryony or sporophytic apomixis or gametophytic apomixis. The sporophytic apomixis includes the phenomena of development of embryo without embryo sac formation, where embryo is developed from integuments or nucellar cells which are of sporophytic origin, while in gametophytic apomixis the embryo formation follows the embryo sac formations, and the embryo develops from the cells of embryo sac, the gametophytes itself. So the name comes from this gametophytic cells, and that's why it is called as a gametophytic apomixis. So it covers two phenomena like the normal, you can say, sexual reproduction, that is the formation of embryo sac and formation of embryo. So formation of embryo sac may be either of diplospory way or apospory way, while formation of embryo is either parthenogenesis method or apogamety, any of this. So gametophytic apomixis includes embryo sac formation which may form due to meiosis division as per the normal, and or maybe due to without meiosis. So if it is without meiosis, so the cells inside the embryo sac will be diploid and will be able to continue the next generation. That's why called as recurrent apomixis. While the cells which are formed in the embryo sacs develop after meiosis will be haploid, and if such embryo will continue to grow, the plants will be in haploid nature and will not be able to survive. So next generation will not continue, and that's why it is called as non-recurrent apomixis. So you can understand this can be broadly can be recurrent or non-recurrent apomixis, or sporophytic apomixis, or that is vegetative apomixis. So what are the different ways through which embryo sac is formed? So one is the diplospory, where the embryo sac is formed from the cells of Archaeosporium, that is also called as generative apospory, while the apospory is the development of embryo sac from the nucellus cell. So it is a somatic apospory phenomenon, and gametophytic apomixis in gametophytic apomixis the embryo may develop from the unfertilized egg cells, which is called as parthenogenesis. When the embryo develops from the synergids and antipodal cells, it is called as apogamety. So these are the two major steps: formation of embryo sac and formation of embryo in the apomixis phenomena, that is gametophytic. So here you can see the cells, or you can say ovule. And, in this section view, you will observe there is a normal embryo development, as well as there is a development of embryo from the nucellar cells. So that is the adventitive or sporophytic embryo development. So sporophytic uh, apomixis. So this is two continuous phenomena: one development of normal embryo as well as the development of nucellar embryo. So these this is concept of apomixis along with the normal development of zygotic embryo, and combined together is called as polyembryonic phenomenon. This image is a complete, you can say, explanation of phenomena of apomixis, especially the, you can say, oogamospermy. So oogamospermy is asexual reproduction that occurs through the seeds, while vegetative apomixis is replacement of flowers by the vegetative propagules, which can germinate and develop into a planting material. So, in the phenomena of oogamospermy, there may be development of normal embryo sac through the phenomena of meiosis, or there may be development of embryo sac without any meiosis phenomena. So if meiosis will occur, so the what will happen, there will be formation of megaspore, and which is you can say the result of degeneration of three of the megaspores from the tetrad, which is a result of normal meiosis phenomena. So now one of the cells at the chalazel end, that microspore, is going to further division to develop 8 nucleated and 7 celled embryo sac. So this embryo sac will have haploid nuclei since meiosis has taken place. So there may be two possibilities, that in one possibility there may not be any kind of fertilization and of the haploid nuclei of embryo sac, and if there is no fertilization, then there may be two different conditions. One, if there is a development of embryo from the egg cell, so it will be called as parthenogenesis, while if development of embryo that takes place from the antipodal cells or synovial cells, it is called as apogamy or apogamity also. So these two phenomena, parthenogenesis or apogamity, that is going to occur in the reduced embryo sac, is resulting the non-recurrent apomixis. Why non-recurrent apomixis? Because these are the haploid embryo, and it may degenerate, or if it develops into seeds and seeds germinate to form plant, that plant will not survive because of the haploid single set of the chromosome. So while in another case there may be possibility that nucellus cell or elementary cells, so these cells may differentiate themselves and develop into the embryo directly without any developmental stage of embryo sac, although there may be development of normal embryo sac, and which may be fertilized to develop a normal diploid embryo. However, here these are the diploid nucellus and integument cells, so which have been developed into the directly embryo without any formation of embryo sac. So it will be diploid embryo. The nature of the embryo will be diploid, and there may be possibility of multiple embryo. However, these two embryo will be the adventitious embryo and sporophytic embryo, and that's why this phenomena is called as adventitive embryony. While the embryo that has been mixed, that has been developed through the mixing, is the normal sexual embryo, and this combined phenomena where many of the embryo has been developed is called as polyembryony, right? So polyembryony can be defined as it is the result of simultaneous development of fertilized sexual embryo and unfertilized asexual embryo through adventitive embryony. That is what polyembryony. And since this apomixis adventative embryony is result of development of embryo without formation of embryo sac directly from the you can say sporophytic cells. That's why it is called as sporophytic apomixis. In the another case where there will be no embryo formation and megaspore mother cells are surrounded by nucellus or integumentary cells, so there may be possibility that megaspore mother cell will undergo uh, any megaspore mother cells or any generative cells or any archisporial cells are going to develop into the complete embryo sac uh, where there is no meiosis. So if there is no meiosis, then the embryo sac cells that have been developed are diploid in nature. So it is going to be uh, it is going to follow the same phenomena. There may be no fertilization and egg cells may be fertilized, may undergo development of embryo that will be called as parthenogenesis, while the antipodal and synergid cells may develop into the embryo that is called as apogamy. So there may be any of this normal phenomena. So this is what uh, is called as uh, you can say the gametophytic apomixis also. So, or there may be development of any of the nucellus cells into the embryo sac without any division, that is apoespory. And here again the same phenomena can occur. There may be possibility of parthenogenesis. There may be possibility of apogamy. So any of these two phenomena, it will be called as gametophytic apomixis, or it may be also called as recurrent apomixis, because these are the diploid embryo and so will continue the next generation. So out of these all these three, these two are going to be continue in the next generation, while non-recurrent will not go uh, further in the next generation. Here it is the summarization of status of ploidy nature of this you can say embryo and ploidy nature of endosperm, so which may be due to the pseudogamy phenomena. When pseudogamy occurs, this means it is very clear that there may be fertilization phenomena where there is a possibility that endosperm may be result of fertilization, but there is no fertilization of the egg cells. But polar nuclei may get fertilized and will increase one you can say set of chromosome. So what will happen in case of diploespory? There is an unreduced embryo sac formation. So it is well obvious that every cell inside the embryo sac is diploid, and but the polar nuclei, which is the which are going to polar nuclei which are going to form the secondary nucleus, is going to be fertilized under the pseudogamy conditions. So it will be pentaploid. It will result in the endosperm of the pentaploid. And since the one cell of the male gamete has been involved in the formation of endosperm, so it is biparental in origin. And since there is no involvement of you can say the male component at any stage, so it will embryo will be always maternal in origin, and in almost all cases it is diploid where there is a unreduced uh, embryo sac formation. So in all these cases there is unreduced embryo sac formation. So in any of these cases uh, there will be diploid embryo, right? And pentaploid embryo will always pentaploid endosperm will always be result of the triple fusion, that is in case of pseudogamy. But if there is no pseudogamy, this means there is no uh, required fertilization that has occurred, so it will the endosperm will remain tetraploid in all of these cases. So you can understand that autonomous development, when autonomous development will occur, it will be tetraploid. When there is a pseudogamy, then it is a pentaploid. So this is what the common case. But when there is a haploid parthenogenesis where the embryo sac formation occur through meiosis, and but no fertilization of egg cells occur, so here the recurrent kind of non-recurrent kind of apomixis takes place and haploid embryo is formed, uh, while there is a diploid conditions of the, you can say, endosperm. So this is not going to survive further in the next generation. And same thing happens in haploid apogamy. Just the difference is that here antipodal cells and synergid cells are involved, right? So in case of adventitis embryoni, this is totally different from the remaining, where the embryo has been developed from the you can say the nucellar cells or integuments without any meiosis division. So normal, it will remain diploid and maternal origin. So if fertilization and triple fusion will take place, then the polarity level will change to triploid and biparental in origin, right? So there is one additional phenomena where additional hybrids develop, where the fertilization of meiotically unreduced egg cells formed through the aposphere or diplosphere. Means if embryo sac is formed through the any of these two methods, where unreduced egg cells are going to develop, the egg cell is diploid in nature, and so if fertilization takes place, syngamy phenomena take place, then what will happen? It will become triploid. So the embryo developed will be triploid and it will be the biparental in origin. And however, here the since two diploid polar nuclei combine to form the secondary nucleus followed by fertilization. So it is going to be 2n plus 2n plus 1n, that is 5n, pentaploid status, and it's biparental. It is not the part of apomixis, but this may occur. There is a possibility that when unreduced embryo sac has formed, there may be possibility that egg cell may get fertilized, and this is the phenomena where triploid embryo may develop. So it is a from the normal phenomena. So this is again a similar kind of presentation in different flow chart. One is the sexual reproduction, that is the normal reproduction phenomena, while the other is apomictic phenomena. So that can occur. So you can take also. Maheshwari has you can say resulted in the conversion of or you can say the has worked over the classification of apomixis, and he has classified into 4 different categories: non-recurrent apomixis, recurrent apomixis, adventitive embryony, and vegetative apomixis. So non-recurrent, it is well known that megaspore mother cell is undergoing meiotic division followed by formation of haploid embryo sac, and the embryo develops from the either egg cells under the haploid parthenogenesis or from the other cells, that is haploid apogamy. So haploid plants have half as many as chromosome that is required, and it is from the mother plant. So since this process is not repeated from one generation to another, that's why it is called as non-recurrent apomixis. In recurrent apomixis, the gametophytic apomixis sometimes it is called as, and the megagametophyte that develops have same number of chromosome as that of the mother plant, because meiosis was not completed. And here it develops from archaeosporial cells or some nucellar cells. The third kind is adventitive embryony, which is also called as sporophytic apomixis, or sometimes nucellar embryony also, because it is more closer to the nucellar cells. And megagametophyte in the ovules may present, but the embryo is not going to develop from that megagametophyte. They arise from the nucellus or integumentary cells, and such kind of phenomena is called as adventitive embryony. It may occur in citrus, mango, and Garcinia, euphorbia. In this vegetative apomixis, as it is the replacement of flowers by the bulbils or vegetative propagules, which germinate and can develop into a plant, even in the plant in itself in the plant. And it is being reported in allium, fragaria, agave, and some other, you can say, grasses.